Hello everybody and welcome to the Mobile One Truck Series for the season finale at Charlotte. So 31 trucks will race today. Three, maybe four of them have a chance at this championship. It's mainly
Bottom two are long shots, but
yeah.
they have a chance if something terrible
I
happens.
don't think Blake Newman can actually. I think Newman's just out of it. Let me double check the points. But let's say 31st from the points later. Yeah, no. Now, the only hope for Carl Hill is a dead last finish from Will. Basically a second to last finish from Levi Soto. And he needs to win, lead basically the entire race. And I think he would be right on the cusp of stealing the championship. But it's essentially just Levi Soto and Will going for the championship. But let's go through your qualifying order, and we will talk about that, obviously, as the race goes on. But as we get to them. So Will leads the points by 14 points. And the tiebreaker would go to average finish. Will's tied in literally every stat with Soto. Now, how difficult would it be for these guys to tie? Pretty difficult, but possible. Then we have Sheldon Hampton, Jackson Young, who got his first career win last week at Chicagoland. Then we have Alfredo Sanders, Reed Jacobson, Kirk McDonald, Todd Petty, Denver Hurtado, Carl Hill, third in points. Last guy with a chance, needs a perfect storm. And I believe if Will leads a lap this race, his championship's over. I believe those 5 bonus points put him out of reach. Then we have Juan Marino Jr. He's had a quiet but solid season, 7th in points. Only has one top 5, but he's been solid. Then we have Jamar McDowell, Rich Fish, Harry Lawson, Dakota Kiger. And then we have Levi Soto. Levi Soto, second in points, minus 14 to Will, as I said. I would just be paying attention to the 68 and 17. And then Dick Cummings, Andy Mendez, Blake Newman, 4th in points. He has no chance. Daryl Norris, Noah Reed, Damon Middleton, Eddie Goodwin, Terrence Garza, Michael Harms, Justin Ross, Owen Parsons, Byron Parker, Ricky Rogers, Earl Bell, Benny Rice, and in last place, Edward Washington. Super random. Harms looking to sweep the weekend. He is racing all 3 series and looks to capture his second championship in a row in the Menards Cup Series.
Start your engines!
He'd be the second ever driver to win 2 championships.
And first to do it consecutively. I don't know how many winners we have in trucks this year, but I think over half the races are different winners.
Yeah, I remember looking at that a while ago. Something
and
like that.
And I think there's like 10 or so truck series like regular winners. Different truck series regular winners. Probably a little bit more.
Oh my god, I forgot Photoshop has like the auto cutout thing where it like using like AI.
Sick. I know how pretty it looks, but I think I'm gonna turn off the trackside objects just so then we don't nuke NR, because it raised my frames by like 20, and we aren't even looking at the stands. But coming to the green, Will lead us. I mean, if he finishes within a couple positions of Levi Soto, as long as Levi Soto doesn't win, it's essentially over. I think a top 2 finish clinches. No, it does not, because we're doing the original format. Anyways, coming to the green. Green flag. We're racing for the final time in the Mobile One Truck Series. Been a long season for a lot of these guys, and a lot of them going to be looking at one send-off win until the next season. Some will be returning to the Truck Series. Some will be moving up. Some will be moving down. Some will just be dying in the case of Benny.
And
3 wide.
some funny news. This has already been announced, but ironically, Will, who's in the seat to win this championship right now, is being replaced next year. They still nothing confirmed on his plans for next year, so we'll see what happens with that.
So Will led lap number 1. Championship hopes over for Carl Hill, and it is now a 19-point gap for the points lead. Casey Hampton will go to the race lead. Help from Jackson Young. Field already spreading out just a little bit. Soto not moving too much. Up 1 spot since the start. I think she's pretty quick. She just needs to get through some of this heavier traffic. And I think she'll start moving. Will not looking as strong as he did in qualifying. Dropped all the way to 3rd and has company on his rear bumper, so could weaken the workload for Levi Soto. Soto 3 wide on the high side here around Mendez and Cummings. Him into the first turn. Right back to where she started. Will holding on to 3rd. Ran the quickest time of the race earlier. Fredo Sanders in the 28. I mean, he's 20 in the points, pretty deep. Hasn't even led a lap this season. Has 2 top 5s though. Then we'll drop back. 69 trucks still climbing up to the field. No surprise there. He's been very weak in qualifying, honestly, across all divisions, but he's wound up in the top spot on the final lap a handful of times. By handful, I mean, I think he has, what, 13 wins this season?
Wait, who are we talking about?
Harms. 13 wins this season?
Something like that.
I don't know.
I think.
Something crazy. Because he has 10 in Cup, 1 or 2 in Dex, and definitely 1 in Trucks. So Soto finally starting to move. Gonna work to the inside for 12th. Will seems to have kind of sorted himself out. He's solidly in the 3rd position. The top spot not really being battled for, but Jackson Young keeping it close. And I do believe we have a guaranteed stop, maybe even 2 in this race. I mean, 60 laps isn't a very long race. Well, kind of is for trucks, but still. So Carl Hill in the 6th position. Gonna roll to the bumper of Sanders. Try to get inside the top 5. Obviously no championship on the table anymore, because Will led the opening lap. Petty to the outside. Gonna try to take advantage of Carl Hill going to the inside. This track very similar to Chicagoland in the sense that you kind of have to get that pass done really quick. Otherwise, that second line starts to move. Soto has climbed to the 12th spot, slowly inching up the field. 68 just ran the quickest time of the race. I don't know when exactly, but does currently have the quickest time. Obviously, up next we have the Dex Series, which I believe has 3 contenders. I think. Maybe 4. I don't remember totally. No, only the 2. Just Stead and Long battling for the championship.
Ironically, another graffiti car.
So Graffiti could win 2 championships. Will they? I'll be dead serious. Probably not. I don't know if they'll even win 1. Jackson Young has a good run. Gonna take it to the bumper. Not gonna make the move yet. I like the lack of urgency from the 12. Not being too aggressive too early. Soto has climbed to 11th now. Continues his slow rise through the field. And up next, Rich Fish. He's kind of had a turnaround second half of the season. Up to 16th in points. Beating a handful of winners, although all 3 of the winners he's beating are plate track winners. But he's sandwiched in between Jackson Young and no arena points. So there's kind of a big fight here. Hill looking for some positions on the bottom. Sanders trying to defend. The top 2 have really checked out. 2 seconds between them and 3rd. Hampton looking for his 2nd win of the season. And I believe already inside the top 10 in points. Could potentially get up close to the top 5. I don't believe he'd get into the top 5, but depending on what happens. Anyway, Soto working the high side in 11th. Trying to climb inside the top 10. Here we go. Around the outside of Rich Fish. Soto into the top 10.
It's going to be interesting, I think. I think Soto's faster.
Yeah. I think Soto is really rising through the field right now. But the hard part is going to be making up that 19 points. I think getting to the 68 is definitely doable. I think passing him, absolutely possible. But I don't think she's at the same pace as those top 2. I think those top 2 are the class of the field. And I think more than likely one of them will win this race. And she might have to play some pit strategy here. Try to stay out a lap to lead a lap. Because she already lost those 5 bonus points to go.
Yeah.
So that's 19 points now. Now, obviously, up inside the top 10, I believe, that's where the points are the biggest. Yeah, positions are worth the most for the top 5. But now, right now, I believe the 10th to 3rd gap. Yeah, that's like a 31-point gap. So, 31 plus 19, 50 points behind right now. and being 50 points back, not going to be easy to do. But Will realistically will finish in and around third. If she can get up there and try to win this race, that's what she needs. McDonald trying to stay to the outside and drive around the outside. Won't quite clear and will. Kind of through the center of the turn. Rose is stalled on the tail end of that. And we'll see if we keep this green. I mean, there's been no signs of wrecks, but here comes lap traffic. Lap traffic going to be the best chance for a caution. And here comes a pass for the lead. Jackson Young through the bottom. Going to go to the lead at the start-finish line. See if he can keep it. Depends on what the 9 does on entry. Yeah, gonna kind of just park it there. Doesn't want to go way up high. Carl Hill looking at third. It's a potential major point for Levi Soto. Juan Marino Jr. has company. Already got past once this lap. Soto back to the bottom. For 9th. And there is lap traffic coming up for this big group. And I think that's what could make the difference, is if Will gets stuck behind this. Loses a couple of spots. Will has a run, but not going to be able to make the move until onto the straightaway, and already have to bleed some of the speed out to not run him over. But Will sneaks through mostly unaffected. Let's slow down just a touch. Now Rice going to be in the way. Yep, that one's going to hurt Will. Not going to do very much. Todd Petty got really slow out of the turn, and that's a problem. Fuel system problem from Todd Petty in the 55. Going to dive to pit road. And now going to be kind of on the edge of that fuel window. Be close to see if he can make it. Rice dropping back. So Todd Petty for inside the top 10. Going to pit and drop out. The bottom for Levi Soto. Soto through to 8th. There's kind of company behind the 68. It could be 3 wide. Will put 3 wide on the top. Jacobson gonna get through the 3rd spot. Will gonna fight on the bottom. Jacobson pinches again. Here comes Sanders to the bottom. Gonna try to make a run for the 4th position now. Look at this, Soto up to 8th. Still in the slow crawl to the front. And this pit stop could be the difference for the championship here. We inch closer to it. To go. And Will continues to hold this lead over the 17. 17 gets another spot here. So, the points lead slowly dwindling. As they get boxed in, Will could go and pick up some spots. Uh-oh! Ricky Rogers in the way. Will got out of the gas. Reed Jacobson gonna pull away. Now they're fighting. Big fight back here. So they're looking to pick up spots.
Look on email real quick. I'm about to send.
A second. Oh, 3 wide move from Levi. Levi gonna get right to the bumper of the 68. Can't quite make anything happen. Couple of trucks to pit road. First of the pitters. I think it was 2 CMSR trucks, the 07 and 69. Both went to pit road. 17. 1 position behind. And I believe that makes the points lead about 24 points as it stands. Right before pit stops. Earl Bell to pit road. And so are the leaders. So the 68 takes a calculated move there. Trying to stay out, try to prevent the 17 from leading a lap. Because that's another 5 points and it just cuts that lead down to 24 as of right now, if Levi Soto were to lead a lap. Soto goes to the bottom. Soto coming to pit road. And so will Will! Will misses it! And we'll see if that's a penalty for Will. He looked really hot into pit road. And look at that. Levi Soto, way better stop. Yep, penalty being served on the 68 car. And that's devastating. That could be Will's championship right there. I mean, he's still stopped in the box. Finally gonna get out of the box. Yeah, had a slow stop in general, but got held for a 15-second time penalty for the pit entry. So obviously sees the 17 coming to pit road. Wants to get down, not give her any advantage at all. And yeah, there's the commitment cone. Clearly misses it. And is just going way too quick. So that's a commitment cone violation and speeding. So will drop to the 27th position. A lap down. Devastating. And now we'll need a caution to get back in this. Jackson Young checked out on the field right now. Could he sweep the last 2 races alone? His sole 2 wins of the season could come in the final 2 races. Soto in the 6th spot. On better tires than most of the drivers in front. I mean, Will needs a caution now. There's 2 lap trucks about to go a lap down that are in such a position that I don't think he'll be able to reach them until the end of the race. So needing a caution now. Goodwin trying to fight off the leader, which is ironically hurting his teammate. But Goodwin knows there's a chance he doesn't even have a ride next year, not contracted next year with any team currently, and hasn't had the results I'm sure Graffiti was looking for. I mean, there are other drivers about to win the championship potentially, and all their other divisions have very competitive drivers. To the bottom for the 12. Couldn't quite get underneath. Now Goodwin on the better tires, helping Will out. Side by side in front of the leader. There's going to be a complete roadblock for Jackson Young. But he's able to push past the 55. Backs out of the gas. Jackson Young puts the 55 a lap down. And that could be it.
Heartbreaking for the 68 team.
Yeah, and just for it to happen at his own hands. Just a messed up pit call. Called to pit road just a little too late. Was trying to beat the 17 on strategy and did the exact opposite. Beat himself in strategy. I think that's the worst way to lose a championship, to be honest.
Yeah.
But look at this. Todd Petty back to the rear bumper. Could pass. Not quite. The 22 has caught very quickly here. Way quicker. 15 laps to go in the D3 Championship here at Charlotte. And every lap, it's looking worse and worse. The 68 team. Soto picks up another spot. We could have a green flag championship all the way. As Hampton to the rear bumper to the inside. Couldn't quite get there. Now gets there. Hampton to the inside for the lead. Looking to make the pass. Hoping Goodwin can slide up in front of him. Slow down the exit. And he will slightly. But won't slow him down enough. Hampton, in kind of a perfect situation, gets underneath the 14 and to the lead. Casey Hampton for CMSR goes to the race lead. Now, can he pass Eddie Goodwin? Yep, Goodwin gonna be a little slow on the top side. Jackson Young has a good run though. Gonna switch back to the inside for the 12. Better exit for the 22. Gonna go back clear. Oh! Oh my goodness! Problems, Levi Soto!
Oh my god!
Tire down on the 17! And that will bring out the caution.
Oh my god!
Caution waves. And Soto to pit road with a problem. 12 laps from winning a championship. Tire goes down. We have a restart. Still, I believe, counted as a lead lap truck for now. But I think we'll lose the lead lap. Unless she gets out very soon. Goodwin free pass. A little stuck behind Casey. And that's devastating. The 17 will go a lap down. And will lose every position she had. And will drop likely to the 30th position, if not farther. So first caution of the race happens, and it's the championship points leader, who had it in the bag. Literally just had to cruise it, and a tire gives out.
That is just
Devastating. I mean, you get the lucky break with the problem. Oh, I like that. That's tough. You barely even need to change the 17 graphic.
yeah, dead ass.
So we will have a restart, under 10 to go. Soto back out on track, 1 lap down. So, hopes not over, but severely dwindled. Minus 19 because didn't lead the lap, so needs to make up 19 points. When, as of right now, can only beat the 68 by about 2 positions. Without the 68 dropping more. So may need a wreck here to take out the 68 to have a chance. She will be 30th. For right now. I guarantee you she picks up at least one of those spots. She loses to fucking Benny Rice, I think she should be fired. I don't know about you.
Anyone who loses to Menards should be fired.
Well, ironically, the one person that is being fired. Well, not Justin Ross, but he had like a problem, so that's different. Oh, never mind, I guess. No, never mind. Forget what I said. But, yeah. I don't know what to say about that. That's insane. So now this is kind of just a race for the win. I feel like the 68 and 17, I feel like the fight's basically over unless something happens to Will. Like, I don't think with how the pace is and everything, I think Will's the quickest lap car, if not the 17. And I don't think the 17 can get around him before a caution comes out for the free pass. Like, I just don't think there's enough time for Levi Soto. Unless something happens to Will, who can only lose a handful of spots, can only really lose 5 realistically, could lose 6 if he DNFs. But we'll find out. It's time to crown a champion. This could be the final restart in the Mobile One Truck Series. Season 7 coming to a close very quickly. Coming to the green. Hampton, Young, Jacobson, Harms. Green flag, up to the gears they go. I just realized there's a CMS car on every single row inside the top 10, by the way. Crazy.
Wow.
Hampton will clear. Jacobson and Young for second. Jacobson may have cleared, and he will, just barely. Gonna squeak up. Gonna have a decent run. And a gaggle of CMSR trucks at the tail end of this pack. With 7 laps to go. Hampton looking for his second career win. And second of the season. Jacobson and Young working together. Trying to catch 2 Chevys. Trying to chase down the Ford. Chevrolet hasn't had the most incredible presence in the lower series. Does have a actually half decent amount of trucks. Obviously there's like 3 of them in decks. There's talks of them expanding their stable in the Dex Imaging series. So they are trying to make it their bid at that ride. 5 laps to go from Charlotte. Hampton able to barely pull away. I don't think he's really quicker. Top 7, 5 of them are CMSR. That's one hell of a statistic.
It's Hampton leads.
I mean, Soto has reached Will. So if Soto can get around Will and a caution comes out, I think there's hope. What if she just dumped him? I don't know what MCS would do. I mean, I guess it depends on how, like, intentional it looks. And if it even is intentional. Like, apparently Kyle Busch wasn't intentional when he intentionally wrecked John Hunter Nemechek and then beat his face in. Here we go. 3 to go in the race. 3 laps left this season. For a very real chance at no overtime. Hampton is way better in 1 and 2, but Jacobson has him beat in 3 and 4. 2 to go.
Soto just or not Soto. Will just needs these leaders to make it a quarter of a lap, and he has it.
Yep, Will did get passed by Soto, but only getting beat by 1 position, especially with the lead lap bonus. Not gonna matter much for Levi Soto. White flag. Race is official without Will DNFing right here. Oh, look at this! Hampton slow to the turn! Really bad 1 and 2. Could have company on the bottom. Jacobson is there. To the bumper. Does he try anything? Not quite. Casey Hampton. 2 wins this season. 2nd career win comes in the championship at Charlotte. And 5 of the top 7 are CMSR. Carl Hill made a major dent on the points lead. Obviously not going to matter. Blake Numinoso probably did. But Levi Soto just needed a caution at the end of that race, and maybe, just maybe, there would have been hope for her. But gonna lose out on the championship by 19 plus, like, the... Hold on. Yeah, so it's going to be losing the championship by 16 points because of a tire going out. So that will do it for the Mobile One Truck Series season. We will see you in Season 8 for the Mobile One Truck Series at Daytona. And the field will look very different than it already does. So we will see you later for Dex for their championship. And then we'll see you likely tomorrow for the Cup Series. Have a good night, losers.